Look at this beautiful piece of technology right here. This is a wireless boom microphone on this little pistol grip handle here, and it's pretty amazing. In the last video, you said my audio was absolute trash, but the video was amazing. So we're gonna try to bridge that gap today in this video, where we're gonna talk about how companies can lie to you totally legally, and there's really nothing you can do about it, because I'm tired of seeing people go into the interviews and just be all super nervous and just be like, yes, I really hope that I do get the job, and I'll do anything you want, and please just move me on to the next interview phase, and I really believe in your values, even though I don't know them. Like, I'm tired of that, because I want you to see how one-sided this really is. They get to see everything about you, and you get to know nothing about them, right? So when you're applying, you're like, let me tell them my entire life history and what I got in the bank account and how much I make and my grandma's social security. Now, you don't have to do any of that. And I'm tired of people thinking that you do, because companies definitely aren't that way with you, right? They keep everything behind the scenes, and they only play that game with you just enough to see if they want to hire you and get that best deal. Now, when you're reading a job description, like most of us, you scroll to the responsibilities section and you say, oh, I could probably do that. Oh yeah, well, I'm not too familiar with that, but I could learn it. And everything on the job application can be changed once you get the job. It could say that you're going to be working with JavaScript every single day, and then you end up working with WordPress. It could say that you're going to be doing WordPress, and then you end up just doing Excel sheets and getting the CTO coffee. Like, the job responsibilities on the application, they just don't mean anything. Like, take this one, for example, right here. We have a senior software engineer. Qualifications: Microsoft Office, Microsoft Visual Studio, image processing, image conversion, SQL databases, stored procedures, web services, hosting platform. You might do some of this, you might do none of this. It doesn't actually indicate what you're going to be doing on the job. You might get trapped in a place like, well, on the description it said that I was going to be doing WordPress all day, or I was going to be doing front end all day, and the company's going to be like, you know what, we've changed course, and we now need someone to really come through at the last minute to really get this done. You're like, well, I mean, this isn't what I wanted to do to get paid. Well, are you a team player here or not? Yeah, you can quit, but you just went through that big process of getting the job and going through those interviews. That why would you do that? Now it's like, it's that sunk cost fallacy. Like, well, man, it's been such a long process, and I just got here, and if I quit, it's gonna look bad. And next up, we're gonna talk about job titles. I want you to realize that companies give you a job title to indicate what they're going to pay you. Most companies have a system built in. Okay, if you have this title, you get paid this salary. If you have this title, you get paid this salary. Most of the time, the title that you get at a job does not reflect what you're going to be doing at that job. I'm sure a lot of us have experienced this. It happened to me. They can give you a title of front-end engineer and make you do a bunch of full-stack stuff. They could give you the title of back-end engineer and say, hey, you're doing WordPress today. The titles that you get at a job are just there to indicate how much money is going into your bank account and out of theirs. Do you have anything that you'd like to say to the American public? Very good. Wise words. I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much for that. Pay raises. Companies can promise you a pay raise and then never give it to you. They could say, yeah, we're gonna give you a pay raise here in the next 90 days or in this next annual review, and they don't actually have to do it. They can say, oh, it's locked up in the paperwork, we're just waiting for someone's approval. That could be a complete lie. Most of the time they do that just so they don't have to make that extra expense that wasn't accounted for this year. All right, next up, we're gonna talk about promotions and how companies don't have to give you a promotion, even though they might have a system in place that says if you do X, Y, and Z, then you'll get promoted. They don't have to do it. They can say, hey, good work, you did everything for the promotion, but hey, guess what? There's no more slots available for this right now, or there's just no need in the company. That's probably what they'll say. That's the classic line. There's just not a company need right now for you in this position, so we're just gonna have to keep you right there. And you know what that does? Hey, that saves the company money. All right, next up, we're gonna talk about the meme that is unlimited vacation. We all know it's not unlimited vacation, because why would you work more than 4 hours once a year? Why even go to work? Why not just take the job and have unlimited vacation? Well, you want to know why they do this? It's what they don't tell you. It's because at regular jobs, you get like 2 weeks vacation minimum, and if you quit that job, they have to pay you out those 2 weeks vacation in terms of like an extra paycheck that you would get. Well, at unlimited vacation companies, unlimited PTO, whatever you want to call it, it's so that they don't have to pay you that, because they never had a set amount in stone there. So that seems a little bit cheeky. That seems a little bit like, hey, the company is lying there too. Why don't you just be transparent and say, hey, we got unlimited vacation. You got to take at least 8 weeks a year, and if you want more, get it approved. They can promise you a mentor and say, hey, you're going to have a mentor and you're going to get help because you're a junior dev and we know that you're going to get stuck, and then they can promptly remove that. And then they just give you a bunch of tasks and you don't complete them, and then they get mad at you. And you're like, but you said that I was going to get a mentor. And they're like, well, unfortunately, all of our mentors are busy right now with their own tasks. Can't you just do it? And then when you don't do it, they're going to come back and say, we're really disappointed in your progress. And you're going to be like, but you guys said I had a mentor and that it was okay that I didn't know everything. And they're going to be like, well, it's just not working out. Right now, we just don't have the company resources available. Dude, it's the best when the company refers to human beings as resources, like some arbitrary currency like in StarCraft that you collect when you mine or something. It's a giant joke. Anything for the American public. He's a pretty good boy. Here's another thing I would like you to understand. Companies that have pension, which is very rare these days, like it's kind of like doing your 20 years when you're in the military and then you get a paycheck for the rest of your life. Companies can say, hey, we're one of the only companies left that has a pension, and then you could put 19 years in and then they take it away. And no more pension for you, and the only reason that you stayed at that company was because you wanted that pension. That's actually what happened to my dad. He was like 2 years away from pension. They were like, we're not doing it anymore. Sorry, but you know, thanks for your service. Companies can also promise that you can work remote and then never let you work remote, and vice versa. Companies can say, oh yeah, we're a remote-only company, remote-first company, take as many days, work at home as you want, and they can reverse that policy and say, you know what, we're cutting the remote, everybody's gotta come in the office. And the only reason you took that job was so that you could be remote. You made a huge life choice based on what the company was telling you up front, and then the company goes and they change everything. And now your whole life is just flipped entirely upside down. So let's say you were remote, you got kids at home, you want to stay at home, you want to work, take care of your kids, spend time with the family, and then they say, you know what, everybody's going to come into the office. Most of the time, you're not prepared for that. You don't got applications out already on the side, and now you got to be in the office, you got to figure out how you're going to take care of your kids. It's going to cost you more money for daycare now, and it's just going to be like a complete mess. And companies don't care, and they do this stuff all the time. Like they just lie. Another thing that they like to do is company lunches. It's all about food with these startups. They just love providing food, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Never gotta go home. Why even leave? What happened to me is that they just totally took that away. So every Friday or every other Friday, we had company lunch. And then all of a sudden the company was like, you know what? That's not in our budget anymore. We're taking it away. That's not really like a reason to leave, but if y'all out there understand the importance of food when you're at work and you're looking to that free meal every other Friday, and it's your turn to pick, and then it's suddenly removed, that's heart-wrenching. One of my favorite things that companies do, they say, you know, we have enough money to pay you for at least 6 months. But what they're not telling you is that they'll hire you and they'll make you make the one feature that they needed, and then they'll say goodbye, and they'll be like, well, it looks like the work ran out. So a lot of companies do this actually. They'll say, oh yeah, the salary is like, you know, 120K a year, and you're like, whoa, what? Why does this interview seem so easy for 120K a year? It's because you're never going to get that 120K a year because you're never going to make it there a year. They're just going to be like, are you done with the feature? And you're going to be like, yeah, I completed it. What's next? And they're going to be like, that's it, bye. They don't have to tell you up front that they just want to pump and dump. Look at that mess of wires. I need to clean this room up. What I'm saying in this video is that you need to stop being so afraid in the interview. You have to stop just sitting in your chair, shivering, being like, well, I hope, do you like me? I really hope that you like me, and I really hope that, you know, I'm concerned about what you think about me. And you gotta, I know it's hard to do in the interview, but you gotta stop. You have to take a minute and say, you know what, do I even like you? Does this company even seem legit? And again, I know sometimes you just got bills, you gotta pay them, and you just gotta take what you can take, and a job is a job. But if you're not in that situation and you're just casually interviewing and you have time and you have, you know, some budget and you can be picky, then absolutely be picky. Do not just take the first job that gives you the most money, because sometimes that doesn't mean anything. Sometimes you won't make it to get that amount of money. And then other times you'll have money, but you won't have any time to spend it, and then you end up spending that money just going out to eat every day because you're working every day, all day long. Companies get way too much information about you, and you as the employee and as the applicant want to give as much information as possible to the company so that you seem like a great candidate. And I'm telling you, this is a bad idea. And I always hear the argument, well, it's their company, Josh, it's their money. Of course they want to know everything about you. And my response to that is, well, it's my mortgage, it's my bills. How much money do you have in the company bank account right now? Where's my position going to be in 6 months? Am I going to make it 6 months? What kind of project work do you have lined up? What is the CEO doing to secure more work for me right now? Those are the questions that you should ask, but good luck getting the answers to those. I'm just saying it's very unfair when companies know everything about you and you don't know anything about them. Imagine if you were like, yo, can I see the company expenses month to month? I'd like to know if the CEO is using his company jet every month to go play golf, or is he just about to lay everybody off? Yeah, you got a cool company going on, but I need to know that I can take care of myself if I meet these very objective marks that you have given me for this position. So food for thought, guys, food for thought. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, help me get to 200,000 subs by the end of the year. Click subscribe, leave a comment, not for the algorithm, but because you have an opinion on this video. Double smash the thumbs down. Really let me know that you hated it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Any final words? Wow, mind-blowing. Thank you.